it's really important to, when you're coming close to the Lord, to continue to strive to come closer to Him. Even if you're not quite perfect yet, it's still important to make that effort to come close to Him. I mean, you might have some problems like smoking, alcohol, lying. You might even have some more serious problems, like you might be in an affair with someone that you shouldn't be. You might be homosexual. You might be like having problems with pornography, being violent, abusive. Whatever it is, whatever kind of vice that you have, it's important to continue trying to strive to come to the Lord, to come to Jesus, and to be in His presence, even if you're not perfect. And I'll explain why. Because He's shown me this multiple times within my life. Even up to yesterday, He's shown me. You know, Jesus, like, He was perfect. He was completely perfect. And I know there's a saying a lot of people said, like, I know they've said it to me, like, you can't be perfect. There's only one perfect human being in this world, and that's Jesus Christ. And, you know, last time they've checked, that was over 2,000 something years ago. Well, that's true. He was, you know, a perfect human being. And still, you know, He can make you into a better person. He can make you into a saint. He can do whatever He wants. And maybe there is such thing as being a perfect person, but in my heart I feel like we can't be Jesus. He's like who He is. I mean, I'm not saying don't strive to be like better and just sit around and continue doing what you're doing. I'm saying, like, there's a fine line between being overly perfective, like almost to a point where you're arrogant and sort of self-righteous, and to a point where you're not trying at all. But it's maintaining that line that's good. But anyway, I'm getting off the subject. Why it's important to continue coming to God, even though you might not be perfect, to come to Him and just talk to Him. You know, Jesus was in a human body, like this type, you know, fleshy body. He wasn't a girl, he was a man, but I'm saying He was in a fleshy body. He was God in a fleshy body, which, you know, God's a spirit. He's the ultimate spirit, so it was a big sort of step down for Him, but He loves us that much. And Jesus, I mean, He's still alive. He was risen from the dead. He went up into clouds. There's lots of witnesses that saw this so long ago, and He's in heaven now with God, and He's going to come back. But when you build a relationship with Jesus, it's like building a relationship with anyone else in the world, like your mom or your dad, only it's way better because Jesus knows everything about you. That, I mean, He knows you better than yourself. Okay, He's God. He's God's only Son. And when you talk to Jesus, it's important to tell Him about what you're going through. It's important to tell Him the things that you're doing that are wrong. It's important to talk to Him and express your emotions about things, to tell Him what you feel in your heart. It's important to explain why you did what you did. It's important to explain about the other person. And it's important to pray if somebody's done something wrong to you for that person. Now, if you have, like, let's say, a drinking problem, it's important to talk to Jesus and explain, like, why you depend on the alcohol instead of Him, and explain, like, if there's something, ask Him, Lord, to open up your heart. If you don't know the reason why you're doing it, why you depend on the alcohol, ask Him, Lord, why, show me where I'm going wrong, show me why I've started this dependency on it, and He'll show you. Now, if you know the reason why, if it's because of certain personal reasons, you need to explain, Jesus, this has happened to me to cause me to have this dependency, and Lord, I need your help to please heal me. It might be an instant sort of healing. It might be that you might instantly, like that, get off the alcohol. And that does happen. And sometimes it might be a slow sort of healing. It might be you have to put some effort into it. And with Jesus, with prayer, with people that you fellowship with, once you give it up and you decide to give it up, it's over and you're healed, you're done. And always remember that you can do anything through Christ who strengthens you. Also, if you're into pornography, it's important to tell Jesus, I'm doing this, I don't feel right about it. It really bogs me down. I don't feel good at all. I hardly feel right to even tell you about this. And just ask Him to forgive you. Ask Him to give you the strength to overcome the temptation, because, we're all tempted about things. We're all tempted with things, but we're never given anything that we can't overcome. It's clear as that. You can overcome it. You don't have to sit there and watch it. You can click the window off just as easily as you can click it open. As simple as that. Or you can shut the magazine just as easily as you can open it. It's your choice. If you want to do it, that's your choice. But if you want to come to God, you want to come closer and be with Jesus, you gotta let it go. But anyway, it's important, even through that, even through sinning, to remain close to Jesus, and He'll pull you through. He'll be like your anchor through everything. He'll be like the tugboat who pulls you through. That's how He's done with me. I mean, yesterday I felt really far from God. I've had a lot of problems, a lot of bad days that I don't really want to talk about, but I'll tell you at least this much. Yesterday was like the final straw that broke the camel's back. And I mean, I got really angry. Some people set me off. For no reason, they just started to set me off. It's like the devil was following me, waiting to push my buttons. And you know what? He did. And I played into it. I had a choice, but I played into it. I guess I was kind of weak. I wasn't there with God because I was hurt. And I walked for about a mile in the rain with a thunderstorm going on. And I just kept praying. I'm like, God, I don't know what I'm going to do. Jesus, I really need you, but I don't feel really close right now. For some reason, I sort of pushed you away. And I said, I really need you. And then this homeless man came up to me and started talking to me and flirted with me, and then he started following me. I was really uncomfortable. And there was some construction workers that were blowing whistles at me. I just felt gross. I went to a gasoline station, and the manager wouldn't let me use their phone, even though they saw I was upset. Saw that it was like raining outside, and I was soaked to the bone. Wouldn't let me use their phone. I walked out. I slipped in the middle of like this mud right next to an intersection that was completely full, and people were laughing at me. And I just broke down and I cried. I cried out to God. I cried out to Jesus, even though I wasn't in a perfect state. Even though I hadn't asked for, to be forgiven for any of my sins, I cried out to Him, and I said, Lord, I don't feel very close to you, but I need you so bad right now. I'm like, Jesus, I really need you bad. If you really care, even though I'm not perfect, will you please send somebody for me? And you know what? This lady pulled over within at least 5 seconds of me saying that to Jesus and praying to Jesus and talking to Him like a regular person. And she asked if I needed some help, and she was kind enough to take me all the way to my boyfriend's work. And I don't think I would have made it if she hadn't, because I was being stalked by this homeless man, and I was really worried. Anyway, I'm just saying, the moral of the story is, even though you might not feel perfect, don't pull away from God. Continue coming close to Him, because He does watch after you, He does protect you, and He loves you more than you know. And you might not be perfect, but He sees the end result. We can't see the end result, and that's what He wants us to strive to. Okay, I hope this helps. God bless you.